which is in the middle of Canada.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sharon Young just joined us. Hi, Sharon.
I'm just going to go downstairs and make sure Jonathan hits the continue button for the recording.
Oh, okay.
And the mess behind me is my living room and my office because we're painting. So
That's me. Don't worry about it. I have my dog sleeping on my couch here. Oh, and I'm recording too, Pat. So, okay. Sharon Young, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, honey. Oh, there's the big J. Hey, Jonathan. Your mom's coming down to talk to you. I know we have a lot more. Oh, Sharon, did you cut your hair?
No.
Did you do it or something?
I didn't do it.
Okay.
Didn't curl it, so
Oh, that might be the key.
yeah, that's it.
It looks cute.
Mhm.
Okay, and what's her name? Mary Thurston. Mary Thurston left me a message that she has several people joining us today.
oh, good.
So I'm just gonna wait till everybody, a little bit. I'm gonna get started here in a minute, but how you doing, Jonathan? Is his mic on?
Hey, John. I'll turn your mic on.
Jonathan, can we hear you?
It's a bundle of fun. Just after Christmas, January.
Anita.
I'll go
Woo-hoo.
back downstairs and check.
Okay. Hi, Michelle. She's walking around.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I can hear you now. Your mom-
Okay, all right.
Your mom's coming down to help you again, I guess. Don't worry, it happens to me. I screw up all the time on these things.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna wait till your mom gets back and we have 3 minutes.
I sort of knocked my thing around today, so I tightened it all up. Yeah, they can hear Mom.
We can hear him. Okay, so there is something playing in the background that's giving us feedback. What is that? Juanita.
A large portion of her.
What is she listening to?
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. You're always such
A
a,
murder mystery.
oh,
Jeez.
there's a pause button, isn't there?
It's all right.
You're always such a troublemaker, Juanita.
I know it every day.
See, ever since you cut your hair. You're feisty. All right, we're gonna get started here. I was just gonna give it a few more minutes because I know Mary Thurston, her sister, several people are gonna be coming on board. But regardless, this is recorded. And before we get started, I've already started recording this. Before we get started, I want to know if anybody has any questions or anything to say. Not all at once, you guys.
you look very beautiful.
Oh, come on. Who gave you 20 bucks to say that?
No, I'm serious. You really do.
Really? Thank you very much. You could turn me upside down and mop the floor with this.
Not with the hair. It looks beautiful.
I can't take it. I can't take it. And every time I want to cut it, I think, no, I told them that however
Guys, stop.
it's about losing the weight because everybody wants to lose the weight like yesterday. Well, I can't make my hair grow any faster or longer.
Okay, I'll fess up.
Can you?
I'm having problem with eating. I just now ate for the first time today, about 20 minutes ago. Now I do my fruit and my latte, and that's it. I'm done. Don't eat till 5, 6, it's 7 o'clock my time.
Okay, so bless me, Father, for I
I
have sinned.
abstain.
It's
And I'm
been
right there with you.
years since my last confession. Okay, what do you think is happening to your body until you eat that many hours away?
Well, I'm storing fat. I can see it and feel it, everything else.
Well,
Because it
there's-
doesn't think
yeah.
it's gonna get fed.
Okay, so you're seeing the results of that behavior.
I am.
Okay, but what you're not seeing is that you're creating inflammation in the gut. You're burning out your adrenals and the things that your body needs to build, repair, and maintain the integrity of your bone, blood, tissue, organs, hormones, the whole bit, aren't getting fed. So what's happening? They're degenerating. Can you get into a car and go into the desert in the middle of the night and just keep driving and driving and driving? And when you run out of gas, can you still keep driving?
Oh.
Well, what'll happen if you run out of oil and you run out of gas? What's going to happen to your car?
It's gonna stop.
Yeah. On top of that, you can burn out your engine if you continue to do things like that. So you're not allowed to do that anymore.
So I have to choose differently. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm telling you that you got to get back on track. After your latte, you go in and you eat some protein and vegetables, Jackie's chicken salad or goat yogurt and nuts, or you're going to have a 3-egg omelet. You don't have to eat a lot, but you have to eat. It's not just to, I mean, if you want to get rid of fat, that's what you got to do. If you want to live and not be like create gut problems, that's what you got to do. You have to do this because you're the one person that has to be strong enough for the family. Do you have grandkids?
I do. I have great grandkids.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure they want to see you around for a while.
I think so.
Okay, so how would they like to know? Oh, you know, grandma, she took a dive because she refused to eat. It's stupid.
Yes.
You gotta eat. You know, food is our sustenance. You don't have to eat a lot, but you do. I mean, if you have to take 4 tablespoons of goat yogurt and a couple of bites of the nuts in there, boom, done. If you don't eat, your body thinks it's dying, and then it's going to keep your reserves on or put more on. That's just the way it goes. Biochemistry, physiology. Now, if you don't eat for a long, long time, then you're going to go into anorexia because your body's going to learn to live without food. And then it's going to eat itself out. And your heart is a muscle, starts to eat the muscles. And then you're going to have heart problems. And that's how anorexics die. You got to eat. You got to put gas, you know, stoke the
Fire.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You gotta eat.
Even if you're not hungry, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Because most of the time, if you really want to lose weight and you've been eating a certain way for a long time, you're not going to be hungry because your intestinal tract has not been used to digesting, absorbing, and eliminating. And if you're not eliminating 3 to 4 times a day, then your digestive tract doesn't even think you need any food. Yeah, you have to, if you don't want to burn out your engine, you got to put some food in there because you want your body to burn the food, you know, chew it up, digest it, absorb it, and, you know, then eliminate it. But I'm glad you brought this up, Juanita, because we're never going to let you live it down. And we're gonna ask you all the time, did you eat today? And you have to, because you're harming yourself. It's good that you're doing your fruit. It's good that you're doing your latte. What's the hang up for not going and having some yogurt and nuts or Jackie's chicken salad to hold you over for the next 4 hours? What's the hang up?
I'm just not hungry.
So,
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Eat anyway.
yeah, but not a lot. You want to say something, Jonathan?
Yeah, I've found I've had times where I'm not hungry or I'm tired of the food or it's getting boring and stuff like that. But what did I have to do is say, John, it don't matter how you feel, it matters how you get it done. And I had something to eat. So, and I felt way better for it. My body felt happy. It felt like it had gotten what it needs. So I just thought I'd put that positive point in.
Yeah.
It's good.
Point.
Thank you.
Good, John. That's a good one to enter into because that's what he just said. He wasn't hungry, but he went ahead and did it anyway. And then he felt better and he knew what he was doing. And it was helping his body to continue to utilize the food to give energy and burn the fat. It's if you're not hungry, it's because you've already trained your body to starve.
Probably.
Probably or most likely.
Most likely.
Okay. So you can't do that because you're harming yourself.
That's true.
Okay.
I know all this, but for some reason, I can't break the habit. But you know what? Enough about me. I want to hear John's thing.
Okay,
and
we're
I'll
getting
work
to
on it.
John, but we want to know your address because we're all coming over to make you eat tomorrow.
Okay.
I just want to add that when I told Jackie that I was doing that, she pulled it out of me that I was being lazy.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well,
Maybe a
I'm
little bit that too.
sure if she pulled it out of me or if she told me I was.
Does that sound familiar, Rita?
But and
Okay.
yeah, there is some laziness involved in not having the food prepared, and then
Yeah.
you know, and there is the reality of sometimes getting caught up and the food isn't like, when I get to the store, the food isn't there or ready, but I'm doing better at it, and you can too, Juanita.
I can. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to fess up. I believe I need to go see a counselor. I think that's part of it.
Mhm.
For like therapist kind of thing to get, yeah. 100%. Healthy body, healthy mind.
Mhm.
And you've had a lot of hits,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but people have had worse than I have. So
Doesn't
That
matter.
it's just an
matter.
excuse.
Doesn't matter, doesn't
No,
matter.
it's not an excuse. It's what is.
Yeah, no, that's not, you don't have to say that because what they say, one man's junk is another man's treasure. What, the pain that somebody feels, just because it's not equal to the pain that somebody else feels, that's not it. You've had a lot of losses. I can relate. I've lost 2 husbands and I've lost, a lot of people, just lost my dog, it pulls the rug out from under you. And when we first started this, the whole point of this was to make sure you all start taking care of yourselves. Remember we did that? This is like, the stupid COVID thing and everybody's locked down and people are wearing stupid masks and they can't look at each other and they're suppressed and they feel bad and they don't know what's going on. When is this going to stop? You're not thinking about yourself, your health, and the happiness of life. So we've all been suppressed. We've all been oppressed. And I started seeing this with a lot of people, especially when I heard Wendy Kramer on a call with the Thurstons, and she was saying she just wanted to do, what do you call it? When you eat comfort food. She wanted comfort food. Well, how comfortable is it when you put on 40 pounds?
Not.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're going to get to John's story right now, but the fact that Juanita, you're with family right now, and you're with friends, we've known you for years. And I agree, I would make the phone call and I would get to somebody that can at least focus in on your emotions. And so that you can look at them straight on and deal with it.
Mm.
Because if you don't get it out, you're going to implode. And that's probably one of the reasons why you're not taking care of yourself.
Mhm.
Going to a counselor is taking care of yourself. And
Absolutely.
that's going to really, really help you to, you have to find your joy.
Getting sadder and sadder. I can feel it, and it's just getting worse.
Right.
Can't hide it much longer.
You
So
don't-
John's turn, and I'll deal with what
Okay,
I need.
well, you want to get off you, but I'm glad that you brought all this up because that is what happens. Now, keep in mind, whether you want to eat or not, you have to, because when your body is being sustained properly, healthy body, healthy mind. So you've got to eat so you can pull up your mood. How much plus are you on?
Not enough.
I haven't taken any today. I've been taking 5.
Are you kidding me?
Who said not enough? Sharon Young?
Yes,
She's your best friend.
I know.
Okay, so you're gonna take 8 plus a day, okay?
Okay.
Because your adrenals, I said, you're pushing your adrenals are shot, you've been stressed to the max, and you're like, why me, Lord? And the bottom line is, you're gonna eat, and you're gonna take 8 plus a day, so do 4 and 4. And that'll help to balance your hormones at least. All right, so, hey, Margie.
Hi.
Where's King Bill? Doing the dishes.
Yeah, actually.
Wow.
She always has him doing something. You guys, I wanted to introduce you to Jonathan because I'm just so proud of him. And he started, I believe in October, right, Pat? Wasn't it?
That's correct. Yeah.
And I want Jonathan to tell you this, but I've made him write a journal and do certain things that he's had to do a lot of changes that he was used to doing and thinking it was okay to doing. And now, little by little, he has made so many changes. All you have to do is look at the before and after pictures, and he looks like $1,000,000. And his demeanor, even how he speaks, from when I first started working with him till now, is amazing. And Juanita, I want you to hear all of this because when you're in a place of darkness, you really don't care and you don't want to do things to help yourself. You come last. That's why I said we're oppressed, we're suppressed. We've got to look at ourselves, be grateful for the life God has given us. And you know, we're not promised tomorrow, but we every single day have to do what we need to do for ourselves. That's why we're still alive. So, Jonathan, can you hear me?
Yep.
I have listened to you now every week. And the last couple of weeks, you were like blowing my mind. And it's because you started talking about the past, what you were doing, and then what you how you decided to change and change certain things and where you're at now. So would you like to share some of that with everybody?
Right. I started out doing the diet quite some time ago, not a long time, but a while ago, and it started off with a lot of heart, but I didn't really have what it took yet, and I did my best. I lost weight, I felt better, all this and that, but it took me getting real with myself, with a lot of help from Jackie, to see what Jonathan needed to do. And I turned myself around and got my walk more straight. And I have done way better with all the things that Jackie says to do, right? Which do all the things they do for the body, as well as for how I find I look. It's not just losing weight, my skin's healthier and my face looks more like me
Mhm.
and my body feels more like what I'm like. And also, I feel healthier, more naturally, nutritionally fed properly, and I feel a lot more confident in my own libido and attitude. Also, um, I turned that all around with Jackie sort of saying, "You've got where you're at. There's death's door that could totally happen to you if you don't lose this weight, and there's your choice, basically." And that's you do what you got to do for you, or this weight's gonna hang on. You've been joking around and you're not getting it done like you should. So I said, it's time to put on the old marching boots and start walking forward. So I've been doing that, and it's not easy, but it's been what I needed. And that's pretty hard for a guy that might have gained around 1,000 pounds more than he would ever even have weighed. I weighed 447 pounds, and I don't mean I'd ever weighed 1,000 pounds, but in my weight loss journey, I gained weight over about 5 years of losing weight, probably about 600 more pounds would have went on my body. However, I would have lived or died that because I worked out. I walked every day, about 7 days of the week. I'd take 3 walks a day, and on the scale in the gym and day in and day week out for about 3 years, I'd weigh about 10 pounds less. The next week, 10 pounds more. Just every week I had all this weight I would have gained. I would have just weighed like a balloon, is what I figured. I would have turned into a giant and enormous. I'm just thankful to God that I didn't turn into a balloon man or die. And I took the initiative when my mom said to do it. I lost tons of weight. I looked great, but I couldn't keep it off. And it crept back on. I got to 418 pounds. And my blood pressure was at 188. And my other one was over 120. And all this was crashing down to me. And, I feel normal. I'm so big, strong, and healthy that none of that really makes any impact on me. But it can, right? And so I started doing like my mom said, and like Jackie had led the horse in to ride, and I worked real hard at it, and I've lost now around 70 some pounds since I started doing Jackie's plan. And I feel better for it. I can wear my pants that are around a 44 around the waist, and I was wearing about a 50 something. And I was wearing 7X shirts, and I had man chesticles, and I had a fat, enormous back, and had a giant belly, and and I didn't look like me a lot, and I was sort of a giant, enormous giant man, and and when I started losing all this weight, like I've dropped 70 pounds about, and I'm at 347 now, and I'm starting to look more like myself. I'm quite emaciated from so much weight loss, but I know my body will normalize into its own self once the process starts cleaning up, once I've lost all the weight and but you know, I wouldn't change it for the world because you know, I feel like where I'm at is not where I even understood I could be because I've been heavy so long that I forgot what it's like to even feel like my own normal weight. So now,
Jonathan,
yeah,
let me interrupt you for 1 minute. When you've been writing a journal every day, correct?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And at first, I know, you were on apnea machines to sleep, and you had to get your habits back. You had to wear your sleep machine. You had to brush your teeth every day. You had to do the walking. You had to eat a certain way. In the beginning, it was a struggle. But I like how you say I had to put my boots on, my walking boots, and get walking forward. What was the moment in your life? And God bless your mom, it's Coach Pat Campbell. So, thank God she's around there every day for you. But what was the moment that day that turned your life around to stop the cigarettes and to start doing some of the things you really needed to do to turn your life around? What do you think it was?
Well, that happened when I was 30, about. I was sort of just sitting around the house, sort of type thing both times. I was out on the deck or whatever, and my mom says, John, you know, you should start working on your weight. And I thought to myself, well, yeah, I could do that. I do weigh quite a bit, and so I started doing that, and I didn't think a lot about it, but what I thought is I'm heavier than normal and I need to do something about it. And she said, you know, you need to quit smoking. You should really try to quit smoking. And I thought, I don't think too much different than who I am. So in my life, I thought, yeah, you know, smoking, what do I really do it for? You know, I do it because I do it, but you know, it's probably the right time to give it up if I'm saying that. But what about me? And I thought, you know, I don't really need this, and it's not something I really need to do. And it was the hardest thing I ever did was quit smoking. I
Wow. How
used to
many
smoke
cigarettes?
marijuana when I was young, and it was harder than that.
How many were you smoking?
Uh, I smoked about 60 packs a month.
Okay, so now you went to the Jewel, and the
Yeah,
Jewel was 5 milligrams, and then you went down to 3, and now you're at what?
1.5.
Right, and when's your plan to quit that?
I'm sort of doing that right now. It's what I mean by sort of is I'm ready to quit, and I'm putting that into action by trying to do it less, and I have today, and just sort of give it up and try to let the time and days go by without doing it as much as I possible until I let it go type thing. And I'm just quitting it. It's not like I'm addicted or have need for it, but I just really smoke that much, and I really I really sort of am cessationing off this one a little bit more. Not that I can just off it or something like that. I still get pretty nauseous as time goes on if I don't have some nicotine to help sort of ease
Right, so
my
you have
body
to,
cleansing from it and starving from it, you know, because I just
yeah,
quit it straight up. So
you have to titrate it down just a little, but the fact
yeah,
that you got off the cigarettes and now you're on Juul at 1.5, and once that goes, it's all about habit. It's habitual ritual to do what you need to do. It's like eating your fruit. How many times a day?
I do that twice.
There you go. Have you ever eaten fruit twice a day?
No. I'm not much of a fruit eater.
Yeah. But now you are.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
right, yeah.
And when you wrote in the journal, in the beginning, it was a little bit difficult, huh?
Hmm.
But when you write it, when you start talking every week about what your revelations, what you're beginning to read, it's like Juanita with her, confessions. Sometimes you just have to let it out. You have to, okay, I'm not eating a lot. Okay, why aren't I eating a lot? Because I'm not hungry. Why aren't I hungry? Because I'm, emotionally in a place where nothing pleases me. So now I have to eat to be able to sustain my body, to give myself energy, and to start pulling myself out of this and then finding solutions. Juanita's solution is getting to somebody that can help her counsel things out. For you, Jonathan, you had to face the fact that you were going to die. Right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. When you're 447 pounds and you're how old? 38?
No, I am 36, turning 37.
Right. Okay. 36. So you're 4 years from the big 4-0.
Yeah.
Okay. So it takes a toll not only on your heart, because you went into high blood pressure, but on your hips, your knees, your ankles, and you're a big, tall, strong guy. But as you get older, you were destined for a wheelchair. That's just not your style. There's,
Yeah.
so just like when you looked at yourself that one day and you go, this doesn't even look like me. I'm distorted. But on top of that, there goes your self-esteem because you've lost your identity. So now when we see pictures side by side, you're just looking better and better and better. But you're not on diet pills. You haven't had a surgery in which they had to remove your stomach. You're eating. You're eating properly for your body to utilize your fat, to be able to give you energy. I think the journal, I can't wait for the journal to be finished, because once that happens, I told, Coach Pat knows this, I want to compile everything together that he has journaled and then compress it into a little book. I want people to be able to read what he went through, because in the beginning, this is a tough thing. And I know with Kristen, you have what, about 200 pounds to lose?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you relate to this, what Jonathan's been going through?
Yes.
It,
And I lost the 70 pounds and gained it back. And I'm at when I started 2 weeks ago, I was at 340. And I haven't weighed since, but I can feel better. And yeah.
your face looks better, your skin looks better.
Thank you.
Sure.
I've noticed.
Yeah. And I wanted you to hear from Jonathan, because it's, Jonathan's friends, 36-year-old boys, man, they're men, but they're boys, and they have a whole life ahead of them, And for Jonathan, it's been debilitating. The weight becomes debilitating. It also becomes damaging for the future. But whether it's 200 for you, Kristen, or how much more do we have for you, Jonathan? Approximately.
Probably like 70 to 80 pounds.
More?
Yeah.
More to lose? You're how tall?
I don't know. I'm straightening up, and I was about 6'4", so I
Okay.
guess when I stand up, now that my body posture's cleaning up, maybe I'll be a little taller. Last time when I got my height taken at the doctor, she said, you're pretty tall, so and it was over 6'3" and 4", but I don't know what it was exactly. I think it was over 6'4". I don't know what range, but I'm
No.
around there. Yeah, around
That's
6'4"
okay,
is what I call it. Yeah.
But my point is, and you're standing up straighter too, because I made you look at your plumb line and not slump and push.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a hook back because I've been wearing the weight so long. So
Mhm. But that's okay. You have to constantly pull your shoulders back and stand straight up and align, pull your tush in and align your body straight, because that alone is isometrics. That'll help your core. But
Yeah.
you need to be, at least if you're 6'4", and we don't talk about pounds, it's really about inches. But for time's sake right now, you should probably be about maybe 240, 220. So if that's the case, you have another 100 to go.
yeah,
And you already proved that it's already happening. So
Yeah.
if you can do that in less than a year. With Kristen, you can do it too, Kristen, because it's already happening for you. We have, how much, Michelle? 40 to get off? 40, 50?
I'm thinking more like 60.
Okay, 60. So
Could
you're
be
looking for a woman, you can do 10 pounds a month. So in 6 months, it's done, it's over. But the goal is not to come back to this. It's the whole point of learning how to feed your body properly. And who was it, Michelle? Did you say the cravings were gone? Somebody said, your friend that was doing this? Oh no, it was Mary Thurston's sister. What's her name? Oh, I'm so bad at names. Anyway, she said that her friend went on a cruise and then went to Paris, I guess, and was able, all the croissants and all the beautiful desserts and all that stuff. But she said she didn't want them because her cravings were gone. With Jonathon, I mean, the junk food that you were eating, can you believe all that you were eating?
not really. I wasn't so much of a junk fooder. It was how much it wasn't the junk food, but I'll say I did eat a lot. Like I'd eat like maybe 10 bags of chips a month and have about 2 liters of pop. And but I'd eat like 8 pizzas, 2 after my meals.
That's a
Same
lot of junk
two,
food.
same two. I'd have about 10 subs, burgers, and anything else. Like I was so hungry, I'd eat all the time. I was an eater. I
Right.
just home. I just eat all the time, and that was my biggest foible. Same too. The hard part of the program, like I wanted to mention in a point, because like Kristen said, the hardest part is keeping it off, and that's what the hardest part for me was at the start, was how I'm used to doing all the regular things that I do that can put weight on. And so I just want to mention a point is that when we're used to habits that are heavy setness, not the desired weight, that's what gives the hard part. But I also want to mention that's not easy to just do. When I quit eating all that stuff at the start, when I lost 100 pounds right off the bat, I could do that because I just had that kind of willpower. But then it wasn't easy. I got back on track, and now I have it off track. And like you said, mindset. I know I don't want to be heavy. I don't need to eat more than I need to eat. And I know what I want to live like and look like. And so now I know what matters to me more than a few bitefuls. But is that easy to do? No. Why? Those bitefuls are like how life goes for me when I eat those bitefuls. And what do I do if I'm not hungry? Sit there hungry? No. And that's why, it's not easy to do that off the bat. It takes work and determination to get to the point where 100% isn't saying it and they're sneaking. It's real. And same too, it's super hard to even lose all this weight I did How? Because it takes time for me, because why? I'm so used to eating all the time. I'm a big man. I work out. I eat like 7 times normally what people eat every day. And I'm huge. Like I'm skinny in the arm, basically, in a way. And my muscles is like that big, and they used to be like a man size that I weighed.
But
And
let me tell you something. You said something very important.
yeah,
You were eating all the time. You were always
Yeah.
hungry, always hungry. Because the foods that you were eating, the way you were eating it, first of all, wasn't digesting right. So because you weren't food combining, you weren't eating foods that had, you know, nutritionally dense food. And then when you know, so you were only getting about 10% of what your body, uh, you know, could get out of that food. You needed so much more. So you were always hungry, you know, eating 10 bags of potato chips a month. That is junk food, by the way. There's
the big
acrylamide
ones,
in
like a
there.
whole one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But there's
And
acrylamide in there. There's all, it's processed. It's horrible oils. There is no nutrition in there, but the more you eat them, your body's trying to find protein out of them.
yeah,
Now you've been food combining. You've been, you know, because you're not having any starch at all. You haven't had any starch since, when did we start this, October, Pat? No starch whatsoever. And so you're eating your fruit in the morning. Oh yeah, how much coffee were you drinking at one time?
like 14 pots of it. I'm not pots, sorry, cups a day.
Cups.
Cups, or
That's
actually,
still a
it would
lot.
have been like
John.
yeah, it wouldn't have been like 18 cups a day, because with all the going out too, and man, when anyways, I won't say that, but I go to the washroom a whole lot more. One,
Well, you know, so you've changed that. We had to go through that. I had no idea. So I found that out. And I go, oh no, we're not doing that. Because you were, you know, coffee is very, very good for you, but 14 cups is not.
yeah,
And
that's
so
true.
you had to change that. You know, but if you can't digest your foods right, and even if your body is digesting the foods that you were eating, there was no nutrition in those foods to really build, repair, maintain the integrity of your bone, blood, tissue, organs, hair, heart, lungs, everything. So your energy was low as well. If you're, and you can tell because your diastolic was 120, your systolic is 188. That's high blood pressure.
Yeah.
You had to have been tired. So the things that now, I mean, your voice has changed, how you're speaking. You have so much more energy. You are doing, I think, what, 3 to 4 cups a day of coffee?
About that, a little
Okay.
more, but
And
like 5.
you got the Osaline in them?
I do the Osleen as often as I can in the morning, or I do it with hotter water. But I try to do the coffee and Osleen thing as often as I can. Yeah.
Okay, and you're doing the latte properly with the milk in it, right? The
Yeah.
proper milk. Okay, so you're doing your fruit, you're doing your latte, and then after that, what are you eating?
In the morning I have the berries, and the Osteen, and when I do my second one is at supper time. So what I do is I cook a protein filled meal with lots of vegetables, and protein can look like anything right now. It's not pork. I've eaten like 50 pigs worth of pork over the years, so I don't need any more of that.
50
And
pigs. That's a
yeah.
way to put it. What about Jackie's chicken salad?
I eat the Jackie's chicken salad as much as I can stomach it. It's not Jackie's chicken salad, it's the lemon. It's so bitter.
You don't
It
have to
makes
do
me
a lot of lemon.
sick. Not like puking, but like it just,
You don't have
it
to do a lot
sours
of
me
lemon.
up.
The lemon
Yeah.
serves a purpose, so you don't have to do a lot of lemon, but it's a lot better than 50 pigs.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yes, I really meant that.
I know. I
Yeah.
understand, Dougie.
Okay.
And we all know that pork takes 6 hours to digest, not 4. So it's really not recommended to do pork now. If every once in a while in the summer you want to have a pork rib or something, make sure there's no, the sodium nitrate, the nitrites, and it comes from a very, very clean farm. And be prepared and take your enzymes. So does anybody have any questions for Jonathon?
I will say that Jonathan's a very good cook. He likes spicy foods and he uses them. He uses that thermogenic spices really well. And he likes to make homemade sort of brothy soup with some of his seafood and stuff. So
Yeah, he's
he does eat a protein meal after his morning coffee. John, you kind of missed that step. Your lunch.
Oh,
Your
lunch.
morning,
What do I
your morning meal and then lunch.
all I do for breakfast is eat a bunch of fruit and then I have an oatly, and I don't get hungry in the morning yet, but I used to eat so much later in the day, so I'm not as much.
So after your latte, what is one of your protein vegetable meals? Just name something that you go to right away.
At lunch, I usually eat 3 to 4 eggs with tomatoes, onion, or anything, and I have steaks a lot, and I cook up onions and mushrooms with that.
What are your vegetables?
I eat broccoli, cauliflower, red peppers, mushrooms, onions, tomatoes,
Okay.
asparagus, pickles, garlic. Well, that's different, but it's still a vegetable.
Oh, but all
I
that's
think it's a
good.
vegetable.
You're eating healthy. You're
That's
eating
right. Yeah,
healthy.
that's right. Yeah.
And the harder to chew, the more you lose.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing with Kristen. I wanted Kristen to hear from you too, because Kristen is showing pictures in the Facebook room now of some pretty darn good food. And are you hungry after you eat all that food, Kristen? Are you satisfied?
Yeah, I'm kind of like Juanita. I don't go that long, but I've been stretching it too long. Today I waited till 12 o'clock for the first protein meal, and I know that's not okay
Right.
because Coach Katie said every 2 hours, so I'm gonna set an alarm tomorrow.
That a girl. One thing about Kristen, when she makes up her mind to do something, she's amazing, because if you just tell her one thing, boom, she does it. If she can't get it done, she puts an alarm on it. And then the next time, the next thing I see, I open up the Facebook page and she's got these meals, even if she's going out to eat, they're beautiful meals. Then she's got a little video. I think it was last time your husband was in the kitchen and you were cooking steak with some, and I said, where's your vegetables? You got to have vegetables. And she put the camera over onto her fry pan where she had tons of vegetables in there. And I'm like, hey, and were you satisfied with that food?
Yes, I was. I couldn't finish it.
There you go. Because if it's pizzas, you get nothing from a pizza, nothing. It balls up like a big ball of glue in your gut. And then if you're not having 3 to 4 bowel movements a day, you're just destroying your entire life, because your intestinal tract are the pipes of life. And when you eat a protein, you got to accompany, somewhat hard to chew. Not saying you go out there and eat bark off a tree, but you want to, the harder to chew, the more you're going to lose. And it's healthier for you. The more and more you continue, and like Jonathon just proved it to us, because in the beginning, it wasn't easy. I mean, this man had to change his entire structure, his lifestyle, from 447 pounds, all of a sudden after eating, I don't know how many subs, your pizzas, I mean, all that stuff. This is a complete change of lifestyle. And your body wants to feel energetic. Your body wants to feel healthy. Healthy body, healthy mind. You have to eat to feed your brain. And
And
some
that,
people,
oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, honey. What did you have to say?
I just wanted to add too, it wasn't like I had so much all the time. It's just over the years that combined, and it just put on the weight. Like, I'm a healthy, good looking guy that just sort of all of a sudden, like at 20, I'm about 300 pounds, and then I'm at 440 some pounds at 30, and I was not like that. And before I turned 30, I went from being around 6'7". I did a height measurement thing like with the real one. I was like 6'7" ish, and then I was like 6'2", how because of how big I got, and I was 400 some pounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's how literally much a normal guy who's really tall, big, and strong like ended up a giant mannequin man, like just who, because I ended up going with all those years, about 5 years, you know, getting hungrier and hungrier. You know, I'm living life. What's different about me? I never weigh more. I work out all the time. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then I end up at 30 with, you know, I'm a man, so my weight sits on me and I'm 447, and I'm healthy enough because I work out so much that I'm not totally obese. But as a guy that basically, to say that I have the size of a 447 pounder, probably had a lot more fat. The scale didn't read, and I don't even know what I really weighed
Well,
on an accurate scale, I'd say, because I weighed 447 accurately, but I'd say on a scale that read me more, I'd probably say it was way heavier because I was really I'd lost like from 6, 7 up, but I'm just really happy that the Lord's blessed me with the strength and courage to lose weight, because it's the scariest thing to ever think that I'd wake up one day and not be functioning normal or have a heart attack or anything
Right.
like that. So I'm just
and if you think, you know, a lot of people think, well, I'm healthy, but being on blood pressure medication, having to sleep with an apnea machine, you know, next thing is diabetes, which you don't have, but you can be pre-diabetic. You know, some of these things, some people just think that's normal, but it's the breakdown of the entire body. And it becomes alarming when you wake up one day and you go, my God, how did I get here? But really, not everybody knows how they got there because they thought everything was normal. Well, I'll eat good throughout the week, and then on the weekend, let's go for pizza, or let's have a treat, or let's do this, or let's do that. But the thing is, if you don't know how to food combine, as you get older, you're going to have problems with your intestinal tract. It's not going to work properly. And then you're going to start seeing the weight pile on. I think the journaling has helped you as well. I think for you to, I had to force you, but to.
that was the hardest part of it all, was the
I
journey.
know, man. And you're still going to have to do it, because I said we're going to make a book out of it. But you're an inspiration, Jonathan, to everyone. Even if, I mean, we look at Sharon, she only has 10 pounds to lose. Margie, I don't think, do you have anything to lose? You don't, you do? You're on mute.
I don't have a scale, so I would guess at least 25 pounds.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you want to get back into that dress.
Right.
Okay, so 25 pounds. You know, 20 pounds overweight is linked to 20 health conditions. So
Right.
you're right in paying attention to this. Michelle, we got to get the 60 off you, because you got to get back into that dress. But
Gotta get into another dress too.
no, once you get into that dress, you're gonna sleep with it. But I think to listen to the challenges that John has had, Kristen's had, you know, we've all had challenges, but these guys are our heroes. These guys are forging, you know, like when Jonathan said, he says funny things sometimes. It's where does he get this? I have to put my marching boots on and go forward, you know, because there comes a time in your life when nobody's going to do it for you. There comes a time in your life where you have to make the food. You have to feed yourself properly. You have to do the things. If you're lazy, you still have to do it. It's like my mom said, stop throwing your clothes on the floor when you get home from school. And have we all heard that? And you take off your clothes, you throw them on the floor. And she kept coming in. Well, she was a very sweet woman, a German woman. And, you know, if I pick the tomatoes off the vine too soon, she goes, if you pick those tomatoes green, I'm going to break your arm. So that's how sweet she was. So when I throw my clothes on the floor, and I have a twin sister, so we'd pile it up, she'd say, no, get in there and hang those clothes up and fold them. Well, I was number one, the laziest person you would ever meet. But my mom came in one day and she said, oh, okay, this is a problem for you, right? You can't fold these clothes, you can't hang them up. Okay, so she went into our closet. Now we're twins. So we had a long closet with duplicate clothes, and she'd pick the clothes up, all of them, and throw them on the bed. Then she opened up all the drawers and she turned them upside down on the bed. And we couldn't even see each other because the clothes were so piled up. And she goes, now put those away. So, and she, you know, if you did it again, she would do it again. And she was relentless. And I realized, you know, it just kind of hit me like, you know, I could have had a V8. I don't have this problem anymore. If I take my clothes off and then just fold them up and put them away. So, I mean, that's, you know, you're 8, 9 years old and it's like, why does this keep happening to me? Well, how do you stop it? So why am I not doing it? Because I'm lazy and I don't want to do it. Not hanging up your clothes is not going to kill you. Well, with my mother, it's debatable, but not hanging up your clothes is not like not feeding yourself properly. Not hanging up your clothes is not like, I'm not going to choose a pizza. I'm not going to eat 90 subs. I'm not going to go get a cheeseburger and drink a shake. Those are choices you make that's going to kill you. And we have serious examples here. When you have 20 pounds overweight, you're in danger. Period. End of story. I was there. I had to face it. And that's when, you know, I was so horrified because, you know, things happen to you. Juanita, things happen to you. Things in life happen to you. And what was happening to me, I didn't have a chance until I could get, you know, the situation in my family finally settled after 3 horrible years. And when it was finally settled and I could sleep through the night, I'm like, oh, hell no, what happened to me? Well, I knew what happened to me. Stress kills. And if you don't take care of yourself, you know, in the airplane, you've heard this a million times, put the oxygen on you before you put it on your kid. So right now, like I said before, what this COVID thing has done to all of us, people have not taken care of themselves. They're living in fear, they're living in confusion. They don't know what's going to be happening. Some things are changing, but a lot of people aren't going to the markets. And when they do go to the market, they're just trying to get their stuff and get out of there. And they're not even thinking of what they look like. They're not even thinking of their identity and who they are and who they want to be. We cannot allow that to happen to us. We have to be happy with our life as it is. We have to find our joy in the fact that we are grateful. We're grateful for the body that God gave us. And like I said before, we are not promised tomorrow. If we're not promised tomorrow, what are we going to do for ourselves today? So we have to live our life to the fullest and be grateful for the body God has given us. Because Lord knows we've seen a lot of things, especially in some of our lives, where we've lost a lot of people that are very close to us. And there's a reason why we're still alive. There's a reason why we're still doing what we're doing. So we got to make the most of it. We got to get 200 pounds off Kristen because we got to have a baby. Right,
Yep.
Kristen?
Yes.
Okay, so, we're all in charge. This is your family. So, we're all going to watch you. Well, we're not going to watch you get pregnant, but we're going to watch you eventually get this weight off so that you are the healthiest you can be to have your first baby. That to me is worth everything. And
Yes.
to, for you guys to get back into the dress that made you feel so good, so proud of yourselves. It wasn't just because you look great, I mean, I have a picture of Margie and she looks pretty cute, she's that one dress, she looked hot. Michelle, you look like a bomb, man. You look good. And all of you guys, when you are at the weight and you feel good, you're just happy, you're vibrant, because happy body, healthy body, happy mind. And that's what we're doing. And we're not going to stop after we get down to where we want. Kristen, when you have the baby, you're going to do a beautiful pregnancy. And after the baby, you're going to continue to have your weight improve. That's what you want. So I want to thank Jonathon for joining us and talking to you. You have no idea. You said some wonderful things, Jonathon, and you helped a lot of people by your story. So thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
And you can join us anytime you want. We're a bunch of women, but there's men. They just didn't show up today.
Oh yeah.
So you're the star of the show, John. And we're going to keep going because we don't ever want to struggle again. We want to be lean and healthy for life and never struggle again. So thank you guys. I love you and we'll see you next week. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Night.